Now we come to the second game of the Sunday, and what a confrontation this should be. The Leeds Rhinos against the Bradford Bulls. This is the way the two sides will line up here, and we'll begin with the Leeds Rhinos. They have Brent Webb at full-back, Ben Jones-Bishop on his return to Headingley, Brett Delaney, Keith Senior going around again, Ryan Hall, Kevin Sinfield captains the team at standoff, and Rob Burrow is the scrum half. And up front, we've got Kylie Luluai, Danny Badiris and Ben Cross in the front row, Jamie Jones-Buchanan, Ali Lauatiti and Carl Ablett. And on the bench, it is Ian Kirk, Luke Burgess, Callum Watkins and Jay Pitts. And the coach, the new Leeds coach for 2011, it's Brian McDermott. For the Bradford Bulls, much changed, new look, and it's Shad Royston at full-back, then it's Gareth Rayner, Patrick Arvan, Chev Walker and Michael Platt. Brett Carney is alongside Kyle Briggs. Up front, Andy Lynch captains the side of prop forward alongside Heath Lestrange and Bryn Hargreaves. Olivier Elima is in the second row with Elliot Whitehead, and Jamie Langley is the loose forward. And then the bench is occupied here by Nick Scruton, Matt Diskin, Craig Kopchak and Ian Sibbett. And the coach, a new coach at Odsal as well, it's former St Helens boss Mick Potter. Well, we saw Salford in the first game, who have never won in the Magic weekend. Here we're seeing a Leeds Rhinos team that has never lost a Magic fixture, the only 100% record in the game. And the Bulls have won just 1 of 8 against Leeds since 2007, but they did draw at Headingley 20-all last year. What does this second match of the Sunday Magic weekend have in store for us? Let us find out. We go to the commentators. Bill Arthur is alongside Phil, Terry and Paul, but Bill, it's all yours.
And Leeds Rhinos on the field in their vivid change kits. And in from the rain, these two sides, they've been warming up outside on the Arms Park pitch. It is chucking it down at the moment in Cardiff. It's a chilly day as well, so they're thankful to be indoors here at the Millennium Stadium with the roof shut. Steve Ganson ready to take charge of this, and your mind goes back to 2007 and the meeting between these two sides that Leeds won at the last with that controversial Jordan Tansey try. And the memory lives long in the minds of the Bradford Bulls supporters still. They just won't let it go. Well, this is their opportunity to exact a little bit of revenge here as they face a Leeds Rhinos side who've got the best opening day record in Super League. 13 wins from 15 round 1 matches since 1996. Wakefield, the last side to beat Leeds on the opening day, that was back in 2000. Can the Bradford Bulls upset that sort of Leeds domination on the opening day of the new season? It's a much changed Bulls side. Mick Potter very keen to get going now. All the preparation is over. Now the talking finishes, and these two sides go head-to-head in one of the big rivalries in Rugby League.
Well, you only get one chance to make a first impression, and both Mick Potter and Brian McDermott aim to impress their supporters here today with their first showing in the season. Good start there by Bradford side, cleared the set here, and as the underdogs going into the game, they're showing a good deal of enthusiasm here now to close down the threats that Brent Webb possesses on those kick returns.
So Patrick Arvan in the tackle there for the Bulls, big number 5, and he is a formidable character. Similarities in the Bulls supporters' minds with Leslie Vinacolo, but Patrick Arvan suggesting that he is no volcano, he is his own man, but he's a big winger in the Bulls tradition in that position. It's Leeds though in possession. New coaching partnership at the Bulls. Jimmy Lowe's in the foreground, Brian McDermott just behind him as the Leeds break through with Badiris. Of course, Matt Diskin no longer there. The ball is knocked on. It'll be the turnover, says Steve Ganson. Leeds going for it on the last tackle. Didn't come off for them. Almost did, though. Badiris have had some support.
Yeah, I breathed a sigh of relief then, just from one aspect, that there was no clear penalties blown by Steve Ganson. Had a busy pre-season in the trial matches. The speed of the line has caught my eye straight away. Both teams flying off the mark, really getting good upper body contact, numbers in, and then working very well with the referee to get out, get back on side, and get back in the line.
Thumping tackle by Delaney there. Here goes Brett Carney. Bit of a change. Mark Herbert not able to play for the Bulls with his hamstring injury, their new recruits, so that means that Carney and Briggs are the half-back partners for the Bulls. That one is hoisted, across comes Brent Webb. At one moment it looked as though he was struggling to get there, but he made up ground very quickly, did the fullback.
Well, lots of teams kick the ball high in the air on the last tackle, but some do it more dangerously than others. There you saw the distance that Brent Webb had to make to get across and get that possession there, and the threat really that Bradford won. Dangerous kicks on the last play will be a goal for Mick Potter's side today, I'm sure.
Jamie Jones Buchanan is collared by Michael Platt. Platt playing on the wing for Mick Potter's side. Shad Royston selected at full-back.
Danny Medeiros, it's going to be very interesting to see how long he lasts on the park and what Brian McDermott does with his team selection. There's no hooker on the bench, and I've got a feeling that you're going to see Rob Burrow go to 9 and maybe pull Brent Webb up into the half-back role.
There is Patrick Arvan, and Arvan gets a good offload away to Brett Carney as he was being upended. Arvan.
Well, it's great, isn't it, inside the first 4 minutes of this game, the number of offloads, the willingness to entertain, keep the ball alive. Off they go down the centre.
Heath Lestrange, sniping run up the middle from Lestrange. He was ever present for the Bulls last season in a torrid campaign. They finished 10th in the table, their worst ever Super League placing. They're looking to do something about that. 2 years in the wilderness for the Bulls, no playoff involvement for them, hoping to turn it around as Lestrange chips the kick in. And Ben Jones Bishop having to retrieve the situation for a Leeds side, finding themselves facing up to a very determined looking Bulls side in the opening exchanges here.
Both
early
sides
days.
just sparring away, Bill. You're right, very early, sparring away, just jabbing each other at the moment to find out what the line and length of that punch is going to be. Good flat balls, nobody taking too much of a risk. Completions, well, there we go, just a little bit of a nudge in. Jamie Jones Buchanan fighting for the win. You can see he's got knees and elbows, and Arvan just doesn't let go. You've got to release. If you've lost the collision, get out the way, concede at first and second marker, and trust your line to do the work in defence.
First penalty of the game then, Patrick Arvan, the culprit, and it takes Leeds up to the halfway line. Here's another Leeds new recruit, Ben Cross, 32 years of age, a former Newcastle colleague of Danny Medeiros, so they've got some linkage there. Cross has taken a bang. He's in back play at the moment, just I think spitting a bit of blood as Sinfield ships it on to Webb. Webb out wide to Ben Jones Bishop. He's got the legs, he's got the corner, he's got the try. First blood to the Rhinos, and Ben Jones Bishop back at the club after a year learning his trade with Harlequins under Brian McDermott, ironically, into the side. Others waiting in the wings, but Ben Jones Bishop, 22 years of age, in great form already with 2 tries against the Crusaders in a pre-season game, and the first try of this one.
Well, this has to be really the penalty there that's given them the situation, holding on in the tackle, but they did capitalise on this. 2 strong runs to get them to centre field. And then Sinfield's involvement to run straight rather than towards the sideline helped to create the space, and some brilliant skill to put Ben Jones Bishop in that corner. This is the team try of the weekend so far for me. Sinfield's involvement is crucial, as is the pass there from Brent Webb. Perfectly placed and invitingly so for Ben Jones Bishop.
Ben Jones Bishop, who had a nasty injury last season, nasty head injury at one point, recovered well from that, hence the scrum cap. Now Sinfield. Of course, no Danny Maguire, no Jamie Peacock still for this Leeds Rhinos side, both of them coming back from serious knee injuries. And Kevin Sinfield's radar not locked on yet. Surely won't be too long before it locks on.
More successful teams, if you look at the fullbacks in Brent Webb, he's like an extra halfback, the way that he gets the ball, he takes it to the line, and that's what I'm sure Brian McDermott wants his lead side to do. He wants his team to play at the line, and Ben Jones Bishop, fine example and a perfect try for Leeds Rhinos.
That ball from Brent Webb was as good a pass as we've seen or will see all weekend or all season. It was absolutely first class.
And it's left Gareth Rayner in no man's land as well. Former Leeds man up against his old club.
Dominant!
From the return.
Stand!
Dominant, cries the referee. It was from Lynch and Hargreaves in the tackle there.
2, move, hold.
Leeds looking to get back into the winner's circle after a blank last year and looking to give it some width early on by the look of things, and Ryan Hall able to offload, the tackle wasn't completed.
Bradford have tried to gain some control by compressing the defences, but I think Leeds have recognised the space now that allows them out wide. Good offload again there by Sinfield. See Ryan Hall here, look, keeping the ball alive, his arms aren't grounded. They want to propel and promote the ball whenever possible.
Ball, move, hold, go.
Just inside the Bulls half now, Rob Burrow takes it up, and Laatiti able to skip away and then do what he does best, offload, but there was nobody there. Just flung that one really in hope that there would be somebody in support. Instead, there was Jamie Langley there to claim the ball for the Bulls.
Was a blind pass from Laatiti, but it just shows, doesn't it, the confidence of a ball player like that, going into collision, couldn't see who was, he just knew either A, someone was coming, or B, someone should have been.
Well, while Leeds have enjoyed the opening day for the last few years, the Bulls haven't won on the opening day since 2007.
Keep it going. It's good.
So they've got a bit of work to do here.
A penalty awarded here now to Bradford. We've waxed lyrically about Leeds and their attacking skill and their willingness to offload the ball. But if they're going to make the grand final this year, it's the defence that I think needs to improve. They went backwards last year in that area, and this is the first serious test of it.
First opportunity really for the Bulls to just test this Leeds defence. Lynch has lost that ball as he drove it in, but it was stolen, says the referee. Ben Cross penalised, so Leeds right back on their own try line. Langley through, oh, the pass, and again I think Langley tackled with... Now he's sent somebody to the sin bin as well, Steve Ganson.
Well, it was almost a try-scoring position. In fact, it was one. Very close to award a penalty try here. The players held back as Langley goes through and passes the ball.
Delaney is in the bin.
Just tackles a man on suspicion.
So Leeds up against it now. Coming up to 10 minutes, they're down to 12 men. Bradford's, they don't need to throw it around like crazy things. Just keep their heads. They've got numerical supremacy now. They've got Leeds on the rack.
He's lost that
and
ball.
Lost the ball.
He's lost that ball. Heath Lestrange. Good pressure by Jamie Jones Buchanan.
Dodged the bullet. 3 consecutive back-to-back penalties. A man down, defending your try line. Bradford lose the ball.
Okay, lads.
Heath Lestrange under pressure from Jamie Jones Buchanan, and Leeds captain Kevin Sinfield was in there backslapping his teammates, galvanising them for the next 10 minutes when they're really going to be up against it.
And that's what it's about, build a game. It's about when one of your teammates makes the mistake, are you going to show up and help him out?
Leeds ahead by 4 points to 0, but trailing in terms of players on the pitch. Delaney in the bin for that professional foul. Here's Kylie Luluai now, motoring forward, the 32-year-old prop.
Move! Hold! Good, go.
Burrow, well, that pass was misdirected. Had Ben Cross on his shoulder, but not where the pass went, and then the penalty conceded.
It's a real opportunity now for Bradford to get excited here for 10 minutes. We've seen them under pressure. The penalty, the ball stripped free. Brett Delaney is sitting there now for an anxious another 8 minutes or so, hoping that his team can hang on. And they're tested again here now, close inside their own quarter.
Go.
The Bulls having a good spell of possession and territorial advantage as well here. They've been camped in the Leeds half for the last 4 or 5 minutes. Can they turn it into points? Heath Lestrange organising things. Kyle Briggs now. Little chip kick ahead. Nobody there for Leeds. Elliot Whitehead was for the Bulls, but it's going to be a video ref decision. Was Whitehead onside? Richard Silverwood is the video ref. Did the youngster just go a little bit too soon? He's celebrating. And Leeds were caught cold there.
Well, with generous in-goal areas in the Millennium Stadium, kickers with skill and accuracy can take full advantage. And I think he is onside. It's well-timed run and an excellently placed kick here. One of the most consistent performers for Bradford last season. He starts this season in great form here. Elliot Whitehead, I think, scored the first try.
He's just 21 years of age, Elliot Whitehead. He's one of the big hopes at the Bulls, and the hopes are that he's got them level with this try. He has first of the season for the former electrician, sparking the Bulls into life with that one.
Remarkable how the game can change in an instant. I honestly thought that that's where the ball just come loose. I was going to say about Ben Cross, he's a very, very experienced player. He just found it difficult to get to the pace of this. Beautiful little chip through. The space out wide is because Leeds are down a man. 3 consecutive penalties, and I was just going to say they started the game better and are now behind on the scoreboard.
Patrick Arvan's goal kicking has been impressive already for his new club in the pre-season friendlies. That one's on target as well. And the Bulls are making the Rhinos pay for having Brett Delaney in the sin bin.
Well, this is again a high view. The kick's an accurate one in the goal area, but the timing of the run, well, almost indefensible, isn't it? That sort of play when it's done with that timing and accuracy. Great work from a great young player.
Well, 2 young players are Kyle Briggs, who set the championship alight last year with Featherstone.
Okay.
And Elliot Whitehead. Mature play from Elliot Whitehead. He called that play. Kyle Briggs put a perfect kick in for Elliot to score that try.
Here he is again, Whitehead. He got a 4th-minute try against Leeds last season on Sky. It was a game that the Bulls eventually lost 26 points to 12. Here they're ahead by 6 points to 4.
Goodness me, that was a solid shot there then. Carl Luluai, full-blooded right into the ribs. And then there was another 3 just to hold him, catch him and throw him on the floor.
Here.
Briggs, there he is with the kick.
Onside.
Yeah, can he make the step up? That's the question for Carl Briggs. Over 600 points in the last 3 seasons in the championship level of the game, but this is a tall order.
I think he can. He's got all the tools in the toolbox. He's a very gifted player. With and without the ball, he likes to defend.
I've been asked a number of times this weekend so far, what does the Magic weekend do for Super League? Does an awful lot. I'll tell you what it does as well. A great amount for the championship. We've seen virtually in every game we've played a number of young players who have taken a different route to get to this level, and it gives everybody a chance, gives them some sort of hope.
Well, Leeds are taking a route towards the Bulls try line now. Burrow is in support. Ooh, he nearly got cleaned out there by Patrick Arvan. They'll get the penalty, and Rob Burrow is down on his haunches. And Steve Ganson, I think, is going to have a word with the big Bradford winger.
Stand there with him while we get the player treated.
Was a late change of direction by Rob Burrow. It might have just about saved him and possibly Patrick Arvan. The speed of Ali Lauatiti, though, when he took the ball through the line, just changes direction. When the defender's feet are off the floor, you know you've not got a lot of chance, and Patrick Arvan's like a goalkeeper here, diving to his right. It's a poor tackle.
Poor Rob Burrow, he was just suffering from the after effects of Arvan's tackle, and then he gets clobbered by Elliot Whitehead. Whitehead legally, but by which time he was heading for the ground.
And Steve Ganson taking time, composing himself, checking on the injury to the player, hasn't made a rush or rash decision, had a lot of time to think about what he's going to do.
Mate, you've got to be careful.
Well, this could be going on report.
Okay, be very, very careful. Sort it out. I'll leave it to you. Okay, I know it was. You know what you're saying about the action. Your mistake.
He's in lenient mood today, Steve Ganson. On another day, if he hadn't brought his travel pillow with him, Patrick Arvan could have been heading for the sidelines there.
I thought Arvan just pulled out of that right at the death, right at the last point of contact. Didn't connect, overly hard, didn't follow through, and just got away with it.
Kylie Luluai then drives it in, so the Bulls back on their try line. And Leeds, with Rob Burrow thankfully back on his feet, and the bell's probably still ringing, but Brent Webb tries an audacious pass for Ben Jones-Bishop. Didn't come off.
I think it's come off Bradford, has it? I think Bradford make a play for it.
Rayner it is, good spot, just gets a hand to it.
Leeds look so dangerous, don't they? They're taking the ball to the line. As I said before, they're creating so many chances. Players hitting that next hole, very, very hard to defend against.
I think this stadium setting, Bill, makes the field look bigger than what we're used to seeing week in, week out in Super League games, and that invites, I think, players like Brent Webb to explore the space that exists out wide here with his speed. The ball back in the side to Keating, and he's coughed it up.
And the Bulls have pounced on it. Senior, the senior man, of course, in his 16th season in Super League, one of the originals of the competition. Now only him, Paul Johnson and Sean Long surviving from the dawn of Super League.
Well, a good read, isn't it? Elliot Whitehead standing tall, standing strong, and forcing the ball out of the arms from Keith Senior. I've been impressed by Bradford. It's a confident start from a side who finished with very little confidence last year.
Here is their captain, Andy Lynch.
Move! Hold again here, short side.
Battled through last season with a struggling side. It's a different looking side now. Of course, the Matt Orford saga didn't help them either, and the injuries that they suffered.
Well, in a way, they were an unbalanced side, in my opinion, last year. There was too much pressure and expectation on Matt Orford, and maybe even by some of the players as they swing it wide here to Chev Walker.
Chev Walker out to Rayner, 2 ex-Leeds men, and Rayner skipping down the sidelines, trying to bounce off Webb. That's the 5th tackle, struggling to get to his feet.
How fast and powerful is Gareth Rayner?
Briggs with the kick, it's going to ricochet for Burrow to defuse the danger.
Hold on. Okay, Rob.
The Bulls will get the ball back. Unless Leeds come up with some sort of Crusaders-style restart. Sorry, Phil.
Well, Carl Briggs showing good accuracy, isn't he, there with the kicks. Bradford, it's an excellent play here, kicked in goal and managed to tore through by Rob Burrow, but there were 3 Bradford chasers. Carney, number 6, probably the closest to the ball.
I thought Bradford last year were the most predictable side in the competition in good ball. You looked up, you saw where Matt Orford was. Everything was on an outs line, all cut-out passes, face balls, very easy to read. This Bradford side looks like it's vastly different in game 1.
Now Leeds go for distance on the restart. Arvan gets the jeers of the Rhinos supporters
Move! Back here.
for that challenge on Rob Burrow. Briggs
Dominant!
can't make much progress there with Lautiti all over him. Lestrange, Lynch now takes it into the tackle.
Third. Move! Good line, Ben.
Again, Lautiti was there. Here is Briggs once more and trying to weave his way through. Just put a little step on the Leeds defence there, but Ben Cross read it. Langley now. Carney puts the kick in. Whitehead's got another identikit tries from Elliot Whitehead. This time he doesn't even need the video ref to give the decision. An accurate kick from Brett Carney this time, and Elliot Whitehead is beaming. Second try of the game, and still Leeds with that man in the sin bin, undone by the kick.
Well, it's clear in the opening 20 minutes of this match that Mick Potter and the Bradford Bulls have a respect for Leeds' defence and know that one of the best ways through it, close to the try line, is the delicate kick in. Carney toes it down, drops it gently, and Elliot Whitehead shows his athleticism and rugby skill here to pick up the ball whilst moving close to the try line. Gets in between the defenders and gathers the ball, makes that look relatively easy at full speed with a far more difficult play.
Okay, mate, online with him, pal.
Well, this is, just look at that group of players in Bulls colours. It is a very different looking Bulls side. It's a different looking mood in their camp. Okay, it's very early days in the season, but playing with great vigour, enthusiasm. New coach, 11 new faces. This guy is one of them, Patrick Arvan.
Well, perhaps we can't underestimate the importance that Mick Potter has for Bradford. Having been to the last few grand finals, he's certainly brought a confidence, a fresh feeling about the Bradford side, and they really are taking it to Leeds.
Arvan on target again. And the Bulls ahead. by 12 points to 4.
Well, Brett Delaney back on the park now. It's been a costly 10 minutes for them. But first of all, it was Kyle Riggs, now it's Brett Carney, two half-backs that could have a very good kicking game close to the line. And you're right, Phil, the defence from Leeds is very good. One way to break them down is the neat little kicks behind the line.
Here is Nick Scruton, one of the former Leeds players, out there now in Bulls colours.
There's absolutely no sense of self-preservation whatsoever when players like Nick Scruton are returning the ball. They're just going head first, full on, into three defenders. That's remarkable.
Whitehead plays the ball. Here is Jamie Langley, a Bull survivor. Langley, their longest serving player now, with all these changes. As the kick goes in, it's a good one. It's a very good kick, and Ryan Hall trying his best to get out of trouble, but can't make much progress. Mick Potter at his new club, a great track record in the competition, 3 major finals in his Super League coaching career at the Dragons and St Helens. Coach of the Year in 2008 as well. Back at the Bradford Bulls, where he was an assistant to Matthew Elliott in the early days of his coaching career. Here is Delaney now, back on the field. Sinfield, the pass is batted down, and Chev Walker will pounce on the ball. Oh, how he'd like to get over the line. He has. Is it a legitimate try? Touch judge has stood his ground.
Well, it's not come up with a try, but Oliver Elmer's hit on Kevin Sinfield will go down as the big ones from this weekend. He was smashed to the ground as he attempts to pass the ball out wide. Chev Walker is claimed now by the referee to have knocked on. Is it in knock-on in the in-goal area? Oh, what a tragedy for Bradford. So close and yet so far here. Ben Jones-Bishop maybe just helps to free the ball. A big moment missed.
You spoke about the defence process that the Leeds Rhinos are going to have to show, Phil, all season. Great example then. Could have given up on that. A certain try avoided just because he chased back and he got himself involved.
Well, you can hear Steve Ganson saying to the players, on the call of move, you must get off the player. That's why he's giving the penalty away. Jamie Langley just lying on the Leeds player too long.
Keep it going.
Langley making his 199th Bulls appearance. And he's only recently signed a new 3-year deal as well, so looks as though he's on his way to being a one-club man, which is an increasing rarity in this day and age.
Move! Hold! Good.
Luke Burgess out there, back to fitness. Burgess, after the injury he suffered towards the end of last year. Van has slapped up that ball. Now then, we'll see whether the big guy has got the pace. Ryan Hall is chasing him. Ryan Hall's going to catch him, is he? Van heads for the corner. He'll just make it. Just make it. Or did he? Did Ryan Hall do enough? Touch judge reckons so. So does the referee. Leeds fans hoping against hope that maybe Arban had run out of room, but not so.
Well, Steve Ganson's done well to get up in position to make a judgment on that. I thought that Ryan Hall did enough to hit him and almost make contact with the corner flag, which still would take him out of play, but they shifted wide. Leeds love to pass it to both the right and the left wings, and that long pass, predictable one from Brent Webb. Arban took the risk, he positioned himself infield, and he doesn't know that Ryan Hall, in those last 10 metres, comes from nowhere to make contact with him. Oh yeah, great decision. He grounds the ball before anything else happens. It's that right to left pass, which he's seen before several times. He's aware of Delaney over on the top left-hand side of the field, but he doesn't know about Ryan Hall tracking up quickly behind him, but not quickly enough.
Good job, you were onside.
Familiar plays, one he's obviously seen in preparation of that. The space was out wide for Ryan Hall, and we would have been critical of Patrick Arban had he not taken this ball. He's taken it and added 4 more points to the scoreboard. Arms out wide, grounds it without difficulty.
In the points already then for the Bulls, Patrick Arvan. He was pre-season, he got 2 tries and 4 goals against Wakefield. He kicked 6 from 7 against Halifax. And now he's got his first Super League try for the Bulls. He's kicked 2 from 2 so far as well. You know, we could be looking at another Bulls wing hero. Missed with that, but probably still getting his breath back after that chase down the field to claim the try. The former New Zealand Warrior, he played only 1 game last season. Got 1 try.
Well, that was good play by Patrick Arvan. That's probably one of the first time that Leeds have tried to play along when they've had the ball. Instead of all the taking the ball to line, playing short, they've played long, they've come up with an interception and scored the try.
Patrick Arvan kick at goal then was almost very much like Danny Bruss from yesterday. It's not fair, is it? Full length, then you've got to kick it from a touchline.
Go, good.
But, you know, I praised Brent Webb early on for that scorching Leeds try at the start of the game. His pass was absolutely perfect. He's 2 or 3 inches off with this one, and they've gone full length. They're the margins.
So Bradford ahead by 16 points to 4. They've only won 1 of 4 Magic Weekend matches. Last year they had a miserable time in Edinburgh, beaten by the Crusaders 19 points to 0. And they haven't won on the opening day of the season since 2007. Here they are leading their arch rivals, the Leeds Rhinos, by 16 points to 4. That's forward. That's forward, surely. It certainly was.
Well, worryingly so for Leeds, really, the way in which they created a 3-man overlap on the outside here. Look at that, Leeds line short here, throws it, there are 3 men out there, they will be heading up towards Ben Jones-Bishop.
Back up, back up.
Gareth Briggs, an impressive entry here into Super League and proof that there are talented players lying outside of this division.
Hold, go.
But Leeds looking to turn the tide here.
Hold.
Having gone ahead by that Ben Jones-Bishop try after only 6 minutes. They've suffered since then. They suffered when Delaney was off the field, but he hasn't stopped.
Go.
Here's Burrow.
Paying the price, I think, Bill, for being a little bit too adventurous. You know, he started by far the better team, I thought. Great try. Then it was that movement from Alalawa Tutu where he passed blind, and Bradford haven't looked back from that point.
Elmer with the tackle on Brent Webb. Gets the cheers of the Bulls supporters.
He's on.
Patrick Arvan underneath that high bomb. The Bulls supporters need their faith rekindling a little bit, you feel. It's been 2 hard years for them. The crowds have just slipped slightly, well, more than slightly at times at Odsal.
Well, the Bulls,
if they can do this sort of job against a team like Leeds, then that will bring the fans back.
well, it'll be happening with the opening 28 minutes of this game. They have looked strong, running to run the play on the last tackle.
Penalty. Chev Walker had the ball stolen from his hands, says the referee.
Okay, Matt.
Well, an interesting time here now for Matt Diskin, who's come onto the field, and we see the ball onto the referee, strip free. The old Leeds player, Ben Jones-Bishop, puts his hand on the ball and pulls it clear. 6 more tackles within sight of the opponent's try line, and Diskin will restart play.
Matt Diskin, 1 or 2 boos, surely not, from Leeds supporters for a player who gave such great service to the club to the extent that he had his testimonial last year. But he's setting up Carney and now Chev Walker. Diskin keen to put one over on his former club. Now here's Lynch, he's gone without the ball.
No advantage. Leeds head and feet.
Well, Ian Kirk it was, wouldn't it? Put his arm and shoulder into the midriff of Andy Lynch. Very rare to see Lynch lose the ball in contact.
Okay, Carl. Okay, lock in, boys. Nick, come on. Sort the scrum. Okay, Rob.
So Leeds head and feed at this scrum on their own 10-metre line. Here is Sinfield now. Bulls very quick up on him, closing him down. Sinfield's lost it, gets the penalty. Hands in from Ian Sibbett there, another one of the new recruits here. Sibbett from the Salford City Reds. That kick almost, well, Carney had a good go at it to try and keep it in the field of play. Just had the legs. Now it's Ben Jones-Bishop. It's Jamie Jones-Buchanan. There's too many hyphens in this Leeds side.
Ian!
Ooh.
I'll have you to stay in. Move!
That's a good effort by Matt Diskin.
Keith Senior now.
Just gets off the line, throws himself at Burgess.
On the bounce now. Get out the tackle, Ian Sibbett.
Ian Sibbett getting a tongue lashing from the referee.
Back here. Back here. Dan, just
He's had some patience with him, but his patience has run out, and so quite a while since Leeds have been this part of the field. In fact, in the 30 minutes that we've played, we spent very little time on or close to the opponent's try line, and this is a great opportunity. The touch judge is on from the side of the field. He thinks he's seen some illegal play.
All the players involved looking at him in puzzlement.
What's up, mate? Back Diskin, okay. First of all, Andy, and I'll have Ian Sibbett to begin with.
Well, Matt Diskin, I think, is going to be in trouble.
And God, listen, these lads are flying off the tackles, they're doing everything expected. You're coming on and you're doing what's illegal. Now, he's your problem now.
Strong contact instead.
Yeah,
that's all right.
On the call and move, he comes off on a neutral tackle, and he ain't doing that.
All right.
So I'll leave that with you. Now, what Matt Diskin? Matt!
It's book one, get one free from Steve Ganson.
You know what, though, this break actually helps Bradford a little bit. You saw then Lynch and Sibbett puffing and panting.
He's on. Okay.
They've got the breath back in. They've got 6 big players now to defend.
Crystal clear instruction from Steve Ganson. And surely no one can not know what to do on the next set in defence.
Well, Bradford pushing their luck there as Badiris was scrambling to get to his feet. Burrow trying to put the step on, does so, goes across the field, then finds Senior. Senior quick hands to Hall for the corner. Can he get it down? Did he get it down? The referee was right on the spot. He did eventually, wrestled his arms free, despite the attempts of the Bulls defenders. And those penalties conceded by the Bulls cost them in the shape of that try from Ryan Hall. His first of the season. Another one who was in good form pre-season, got a couple against the Crusaders. But these are the ones that counts. And he's changed the flow of this game with that try.
Well, it's a popular sequence, isn't it, where a team concede a penalty, they very often concede a try. Matt Diskin's the first one to concede his penalty. And then from this play here now, Leeds with that Rob Burrow just looking so dangerous, bouncing back across and sucking in the defenders, allowing the space for Ryan Hall, who scored 1 try on the right wing. Here's the first on the left-hand side of the field. They really do stretch and play the full width of the field, and with a player dancing across, there's always going to be the space for big, strong Ryan Hall. I thought Kyle Briggs did remarkably well to hold him up at first, but eventually there was the twist and turn.
Ryan Hall likes the Magic Weekend concept. 7 tries in the Magic Weekend series for him. He got a hat-trick, in fact, last year in Leeds' comeback win against Wakefield. They almost lost their run of success in this Magic concept to the Wildcats last year. Had to come from behind to win that one. They're going to have to come from behind to win this one as Sinfield again misses with a goal kick. And it's Leeds 8, the Bradford Bulls 16 here in Cardiff.
Just going to say then, Bill, when you look at that kind of defence process on that line and how hard the Bulls had to work, you've got to push, you've got to lock up, then Rob Burrow just keeps stepping and stepping and stepping. At some point, players of that quality, it's indefendable at times, isn't it, when they just keep moving so quickly again and going sideways.
So Arvan with the restart for the Bulls, gave that one a thump. Burgess running it back strongly. There's half the Burgess camp in Sydney at the moment. Brothers Sam and George both at South Sydney now. George, the latest recruit. But Luke Burgess still a rhino. Here's Burrow inside his 40, goes for a 40-20. Langley tried to close him down. It's Langley who comes off second best, I think. He really is a durable character, Rob Burrow. He takes some hammer. He's taken some hammer from Patrick Arvan earlier on. Took some hammer there from Langley. It's Langley who's still down.
I mentioned on the previous game about running at Jared Samet. You pick on the smaller guy because literally they're not big enough to hold it. You know, I've tried so many times to get me players to run over the top of Rob Burrow, mate, and we just completely ignore it. We've now got a Bradford Bull plays Jamie Langley coming off the field after his collision with Rob Burrow.
Well, Jamie Langley actually put a shot on Rob Burrow and he's come off second best. He's a tough little thing, Rob Burrow.
Looks like a shoulder problem for Langley as Carney puts the kick in down the sidelines, just making Leeds retreat.
I always wonder nowadays in rugby league whether that's a nervous kick. It's, you know, I'm not so sure really. When teams kick the ball out of play, really, it relieves the pressure. There's no risk here of Leeds restarting play. They've just got to put the ball into the scrum and take it out. Really, you're not asking anybody to show any skill by catch a high ball or gather one from the in-goal area.
Well, maybe they just need to organise themselves though, Phil, because they've just lost Jamie Langley and they need to find out, and everyone needs to be singing off the same hymn sheet.
It does suggest, doesn't it, we're just going to take a breather.
Keith Senior plays that ball. Here goes Ryan Hall. It is a shoulder injury for Jamie Langley. It's been a bruising confrontation between these two. Out of the traps, a lot of pent-up energy after all that pre-season training. There is Langley. As that ball's batted down, Ablett it was with the pass. It's on the last. Ablett appealing that it should be 6 to go, but it's not, says the referee. Sinfield with the kick, takes a deflection. Brett Carney does well. Little leg break on that ball. He read it well.
It was Craig Kopchak, wasn't he? Just towed it back to Brett Carney at the in the full-back position.
Stand 2.
I think Elliot Whitehead does well there to put the pressure on now. Did he get the hand on the ball? I don't think so, but he certainly contributed. There's an offload there by Sibbett. Leeds, Bradford keep the ball going forward here. There's certainly another score before half-time.
Good play from Ian Sibbett to promote that ball. Had a difficult start to the game, gave away a couple of penalties, but he was in good company. Then it was Keith Senior that he was holding off and popped out that offload around the back door. That allowed the quick play of the ball, and thus the penalty now for the Bradford Bulls.
Coming up towards half-time, that penalty takes the Bulls up the field through the boot of Carl Briggs. Now here's the Welsh international Kopchak playing the ball. Now Scruton.
2. Move. Okay, Brent.
Diskin organising things as he did for so long for the Rhinos. Now as he's doing it for the Bulls, and Carney thought he'd spotted a gap. They just shut the door on him in time, did Brett Delaney. Short passing from the Bulls, didn't come off. And Shad Royston and Ollie Ellimer not quite hitting it off there. Two new teammates as well. Ellimer coming here from the Catalan Dragons, back in the UK, having previously played for Wakefield.
You just get that feeling, Phil, don't you, on your point previously. They need to be making more of this good ball, good field position, because I don't think 8 points, it's not going to stay like this for the rest of the game.
Okay.
And Oliver Ellimer, we've seen from recent years, such a dangerous, in fact, one of the most dangerous forwards in Super League at scoring. He gets over the try line more than most other players.
Well, he got 4 tries for France during the autumn in the international series. Hate to say it, but they were against Ireland, Terry.
Didn't quite hear that, Bill.
In a big French win. 58 points to 24.
It was against Ireland, Terry.
No second efforts.
Here's Danny Badaris now. Up to the halfway line.
Hold. Go.
Burrow. Burgess. Puff of the cheeks, and then he looks for the confrontation. Went straight into the middle of where it was going to be the toughest. And the ball is hoisted by Webb. Jones Bishop challenging for it. And Royston just watches it bobble out of play. Shad Royston, another recruit from the championship in Bulls colours, getting his break.
Good work by Ben Jones Bishop. Good acceleration to get himself in a position to challenge for the ball in the first place. Okay, it's come off his shoulder and go out of play, but
1 minute 20.
he's going to put Gareth Rayner under pressure for the full 80 minutes and let him know that when that ball comes down, he's there breathing down his neck.
Okay.
into the last minutes of this first 40 in the Leeds-Bradford clash here in Cardiff. And the Bulls having the better of this first half. Coming back from conceding an early try and looking at a much different Bradford Bulls side from that which we saw struggling at times last season. Kopchak.
Left and right, come on back.
Sinfield in with the tackle, and then Briggs puts the kick in. It's out on the full, hangs his head, holds his hand up.
As the half's gone on, the kicks have deteriorated, and that's a sign of the fatigue. You know, a lot of teams do monitor the quality of the kicks over each 10-minute period, and as we get into the fourth 10-minute period, we've seen now with this kick going over the sideline, it offers Leeds a chance. With 15 seconds left in the half.
Maybe a kick, Phil, play one. We've already seen the pace of Ryan Hall, but even though our van scored, he turned and gave him 15 metres and caught him. Could be on.
Well, now it's the last 10 seconds of this first half. Sinfield keeps it alive. Webb is involved. That ball's batted down. It's going to be snapped up by Elmer. The hooter has sounded. The referee has awarded a penalty. They're chasing Elmer down the field. Jones Bishop will make the tackle. Come back, guys. We're down this end.
Well, give him a 10 for commitment in chasing back. But he can come back 70 yards now where Steve Ganson's going to give the penalty.
You have to play to the whistle, and they claim they didn't hear it. Good effort from Ben Jones-Bishop.
It's funny how all the props heard it, because they're all stood up this end of the park. Or was it Elliot Whitehead who knocks it forward? And I think it's just Olivier Elmer. He just couldn't resist. He had to pick that ball up. He knew that the seconds were counting down
but Whitehead
before
was
half-time.
there, wasn't he? Whitehead was there to pick it up. It was still a bit of a knock-on.
It's tough though, isn't it, Phil? When it's third in front, you've got to make that split-second decision.
So it's an opportunity with the last kick of this first half for Leeds to narrow the gap. Kevin Sinfield yet to land a successful kick at goal. This is his opportunity. Penalty about 32 metres out, almost head on to the posts, and you'd fancy his chances of landing this one. Kicking tee is already on.
Back it up, 10 lads.
Olivier Elmer just wearily walking his way back through the ranks of the Leeds players.
Look, mate.
I think if they go in 16-10, Leeds will breathe a sigh of relief for what has been an indifferent first half. There's been some patches, but I think they've been absolutely superb, and then they've fallen away.
Still to come. Hull FC against Hull Kingston Rovers, and the Black and Whites and the Robin supporters already in the crowd here, watching Kevin Sinfield looking to hit the target for the first time this afternoon. He does so, and Leeds probably happy to see that improvement in the scoreline, having been 16-4 down after 25 minutes. They've come back, and that last-minute penalty when Ollie Elmer thought he was heading for the try line. In fact, it turned out to be a Leeds penalty. Sinfield's kicked. It's Leeds 10, Bradford 16 at the break.